Hey y'all, Hestia's Helper here, and today we're kitchen witching. Today we are a little late for Ostara, but just in time if you're in charge of making the deviled eggs for your family Easter get together. Um, if you're not in charge, you should be, because we're going to make some magical deviled eggs today. The base recipe that I'm going to use is the Pioneer Woman's Best Deviled Egg recipe. I will link that in the description box below. But the magic that we're going to add is all you, baby. All you. So before we get started, we've got a few things that I'm going to tell you that are going to make your life and your deviled egg game immensely better. So the secret to perfectly peeled deviled eggs, because we all know that the bane of our existence when it comes to making them is not losing half of the egg white when it comes along, or when we're peeling it. So let me tell you what you're going to do. You are going to steam your eggs. Now, I have a multi-cooker that has a steam function. You can make a steamer if you have a pot large enough for a metal colander to sit inside with a couple of inches on the bottom and the lid still fits snugly on top. Or there's also stovetop steamers. However you're going to steam your eggs, that's what you're going to do. And you're going to steam them for 14 minutes. My eggs are already steamed, and then you want them to sit in cold water for 10 minutes before you start peeling them. Now, how do we make our eggs magical? We put herbs in the water that we're going to steam them in. If you're boiling your eggs, you can do it this way as well. So the herbs aren't going to flavor your eggs. You're just going to infuse the eggs with the magical properties, and you can put whatever you want in there. Today I used clover for luck. I used mint for prosperity. I used chamomile for peace, and calendula for happiness. That's what I put in the water so I could infuse the eggs with those magical properties. In addition, we are going to need about half a cup of mayonnaise and a tablespoon of yellow mustard. I've got that ready here. We're going to get all this stuff mixed together while we're waiting for our eggs in the water. I didn't set a timer, so I'm just going to have to kind of eyeball them. Now, listen. I'm telling you that this steaming trick... Sorry, my dryer's on the anti-wrinkle function. I'm doing this video so I don't have to fold laundry, to be honest. But, but the steaming the egg trick works for your eggs fresh out the butt. I mean, honestly. So to our mayonnaise and our mustard, we are adding 2 teaspoons of pickle juice and 2 teaspoons of chopped pickles. And I had spears, and 2 teaspoons wasn't even a whole spear. You can add more to your taste if you like. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of sugar. And then some salt and pepper. I am using pink salt to put in a little extra love. You want to taste. I like about half a teaspoon in mine. And then some fresh pepper for protection. We're just going to mix this up and get it ready for our egg yolks. It's going to look something like that. Set that to the side. Okay. So here we go. Let's take one of these eggs and crack them open so I can show you how easily they peel. I have this bowl here because I'm going to save my peels. We're not going to get rid of them, because these peels have been infused with all of those magical properties. Do you see how easy that just slipped right off of there? And so we can dry out these eggshells and use them for spell work later. I didn't quite crack the membrane on that one. You do have to get under the membrane. There we go. Let's see. So far, so good. I am putting these back in my water to rinse them. Get the little bits of shells off. These were fresh eggs. And they are just peeling right along. Oh, that one just, I don't know if you can see, but I mean it just like literally right in half. Yeah, let's try to do this so you can, how satisfying was that? So bear with me, sisters, while we go through. This is a recipe for a full dozen eggs. Oh, this one I got a little rough with. It's still going to peel well. I just cracked it. I cracked that white, so. So I would love to know what are some dishes that you make for family get-togethers this time of year. Now I'm trying to show off and it's catching up with me. Trying to pull it apart. But what are some of your favorite dishes for this time of year? This spring season when everything is beautiful and fresh. All of the early blooms are coming in. It's a good time to go foraging if you have that ability. Or go to the farmers markets and see what first fresh fruits and vegetables are out. I don't know. What else? Not quite sure if we're going to be having a dinner this year. I'm waiting to hear back from my son and his girlfriend if they're going to be able to make it up next weekend or not. So if they are, then we want to do a big dinner here. But if they're not, then my daughter just wants to meet up and go out. Maybe I'll be able to talk her into her cooking a little something at her place. It's getting to that point in life where it's time to start turning over the reins and let the children take over the holiday meal planning and just assist. Beautiful. Okay. One more after this one. Y'all are being so patient. I appreciate you so much. I don't know about y'all, but this upcoming... So there's a lunar eclipse tonight, and then there's a solar eclipse on the 8th. And there is a lot... Oh, that's going to be another satisfying one. If I can just wiggle that out of there. I love it. I love it, love it. I don't know. There's a lot of energy going on. And, man, I'm feeling it. Okay. So I only make deviled eggs a few times a year. So I don't have one of those fancy, schmancy dishes. Also, living in a tiny house, I have to be mindful of what I do keep. But a plate works just fine. So since I put these back in the water, I am going to dry them off just a touch before I cut them and put them on the plate, so I don't have any weird egg juice on the bottom. Let's see. How perfect is that? 14 minutes, y'all. Just pop it in there. I'm trying to think about things to talk about with y'all, because my world has been overrun with work here lately, and I'm just like, I don't have anything interesting going on right now. Maybe I should have done this live so I can keep an eye on the comments and let y'all contribute, but this is where we're at. Too late to turn back now. I'm curious as to how y'all actually feel about deviled eggs. There are people that do not like them at all. And I don't know if... So I'm a firm believer that everything edible is possible for everyone to like. You just have to find a way that you like it prepared. So maybe playing around with the recipe. You know what? Like Brussels sprouts, I used to not be able to stand Brussels sprouts. Then, lo and behold, come to find out, I like Brussels sprouts. But I like them oven roasted to the point to where they start to get a little bit crispy around the edges. And drizzled with a balsamic vinegar sauce. There's a place in the town that I work in that does deep fried Brussels sprouts, which, listen, I'm in the South, y'all. If it's deep fried, we are about it. We will deep fry butter, literally. That's a thing at the fair. Side note, never tried deep fried butter. So I'm here for it, but honestly, that might even be a bit much for me. Running out of room. I've got 5 eggs left and not 5 eggs worth of plate left. Okay, so this was the one that got a little wonky on me. Oh, well, it might still hold a shape. But back to deviled eggs. So, honestly, I need to do some research and find the original recipe for deviled eggs, because now we make kind of a, I want to say probably like a tamed down version, because to devil something is to cook it with spices or season it, like heavily spice it. And the only thing that really goes into deviled eggs that can be considered spicy, and it's not even, is the paprika that we sprinkle on top. So, that's not spicy. Although I have seen recipes where they use like Tabasco. I've seen where they get super adventurous and sprinkle like cayenne pepper on top. I'm a wuss when it comes to spicy, like hot spices. So, yeah, I don't think I'll be trying that one. But I'm always interested in hearing what other people have in their recipe. This recipe I found, and I really love it. It's just got the perfect blend of the creaminess and the tang, a touch of sweetness. It's so good. Okay, so now we're just going to mash this around. You know, like Hestia. We know about this part. You don't have to explain to us what you're doing. Oh. But yeah, I'm super excited that it's trying to be spring here. With spring comes all this back and forth weather, right? So we're just kind of like, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's cold. Get my coat. And back and forth and back and forth. So I'm ready for it to stay one temperature. Even though I know where I live, like, it doesn't last. Spring doesn't last long. Like, the nice part of spring, it doesn't last long. We get like, maybe 4 days where it's just perfect spring weather, and the rest of it, it's either too hot or too cold. Okay, got that all mixed up. And now we are ready to start filling our eggs. Trigger warning, I do use my fingers when I cook. I also probably lick them. So, if you don't do that in your kitchen, that is fine. However, just know that anybody who will be eating these has been eating food that I have had my hands in their entire lives, for the most part. Alright, so now we just plop this in here. You can get super fancy and, you know, use like a piping bag if you want. That might be a little much for that one. Oh, and I'm not going to do it on this one, but I've also been known to, for a little extra magical oomph, if you want to take like a little toothpick or something sharp and sketch a little rune or symbol or sigil into the inside of the egg, you can most definitely do that. Make it extra, extra magical. But these, I think, have plenty of magic in them, just with the infused properties of the steamed water, which can now also be used to be strained and make infused moon water out of tonight for the full moon, or just use it to water your plants after it cools or something. So we always want to try to make sure that we use everything that we have until it cannot be used anymore, right? Because that is the way. That is how we prevent things from ending up in our landfills and just being wasteful. And being wasteful is just, I don't know, like, how are you being grateful for the things that you are being given if you are not utilizing them to their fullest extent. And that goes not only for the products that you consume and grow or are gifted from others, but that goes for your gifts as well. There's a lot of us that have amazing talents, and I speak for myself in this, not saying that I have amazing talents for anything, but as far as the not utilizing what you're given as far as gifts, we let life overcome us, and we don't do enough things that give us joy. And yeah, that one went, a few of these went a little heavy, so I'm scraping to get this last bit. But we don't do enough things that give us joy. And when we are not allowing ourselves to be joyful, then we are not putting ourselves in a place where we can live life to the fullest extent and use our gifts and just have appreciation. Told you I was going to lick my fingers. For this life that we're given. Okay. So now, final touches. Paprika. And I like a little extra dill on mine as well. I like the smoked paprika. We're just gonna out, and you always get some that get the good healthy dose, huh? And the dill we can put in our palms and dust this way. I guess I could have done it with my paprika as well, but when I tell you, that would have been super messy and staining. But there we go. Magical deviled eggs. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments below what you're making next weekend for dinner. Until then, remember, you are all the magic you need. Love y'all. Bye.